Tomorrow is going to be September 11. It's going to be 10 years since 9/11 happened. And I still remember that morning I was asleep and my sister runs to my bedroom and she goes, "We're under attack. We're at war. We're at war." And for me, it's like, "Are you crazy? Who wants to be at war with us?" So I couldn't believe it. She turns on the TV, and then the footage is there. Like the first tower got hit, and at the time I was just 15. My sister was 14, and I couldn't make sense of it at all. I mean, I was like, I didn't think, that we were attacked. I don't know how she concluded we were attacked. Most people at first thought it was like an accident, that it was a mistake. And then I went to my mom's bedroom. We're all sitting in bed, all three of us watching it, and we see as the other plane gets hit. I even recorded on my VCR the footage, and so that day I had to go to class. I had to take a computer class at the community college, and my mom dropped me off. And the teacher was like, I just can't teach today. You guys can go home." And it was the only class I had for the day, so it was about a 20-minute drive. My mom had to drive all the way back home. I didn't have a cell phone, so I called the payphone to leave a message at the house, and then she came back for me and picked me up. And I hear a lot of people say how it was a numbing day, and it was like a numbing day. Like I remember my mom passed through a stop sign. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, "You didn't see a stop sign?" And it was like our heads were somewhere else. Like we were all, even though we were in California, that happened in New York, and we don't know anybody affected by it directly. We were still hearing reports that, maybe schools can get hit, hospitals can get hit, the bridge and the Golden Bridge can get hit, and we live next to March Air Force Base, so that was my mom's fear. Like, what if they hit that? We're really close to it. I mean, driving on the way to school, we would pass by it, and so that was, um, it was just weird. You know what I mean? It wasn't directly affecting us, and it wasn't until the late days to come where news report and interviews were doing that. After a while, I couldn't watch them anymore. And I remember the one that stuck to me the most. I remember my mom was making dinner and she had Oprah on. We had Oprah on in the living room, and it was just so sad I couldn't like watch anymore. So I went to the kitchen, but I was hearing one of the stories, and one of the ones that had the biggest impact on me was this girl that just had graduated her studies, college, and she was on her flight over to California for her brand new job. And so she was, I don't know if it was the first or second plane that hit. And for me, what stuck to me was that I thought to myself, what if? What if this girl was like, "Oh, I won't have fun today. I won't party. I'm going to stay up and study and study and study. School, school, school. Not going to have a social life. Just going to focus on school because later on I'll have a life. Later on I'll see the movie I want to see. Later on I'll go out to eat where I want to go out to eat." And that later on never came for her. Now I know many of us probably never get that type of um, incident where hit the World Trade Center, but many of people do die young. You don't know when your life's gonna end, and so that affected me when I went to college, where I decided so much percentage of my time will be dedicated to live my life. And I remember seeing like interviews like not too long ago about kids talking about how they grew up fast because most of like the people that lost their parents. And that was something part of me where people take a lot of stuff for granted. I was like, "Oh, I'll do this." Even till now, I try to make the most of my time to spend time with my family and my friends. Even though I live about 80 miles away from them, and I get lazy and I just want to stay in bed and not go out anywhere, I don't know for how much longer I might have them. If it's not an accident, a plane crash, it can be cancer, it can be heart attack, it can be stroke. It can be a thousand ways to die. Any little thing that can take somebody out. And I just don't want to live with the regret that I didn't take advantage when I could. Within my means, within my financial means, within my time constraints. As long as I meet my priorities, work and finances, and all the extra time, I make sure I dedicate that to my family and to me. Even once a month, I take a whole weekend off. I do stuff, chores around my house, clean it up, and then I relax. I take my time to be completely lazy. So I had to find my balance, and it's sad, but it's like in their memory, we have to learn how to live. As the saying goes, just because you're alive doesn't mean you're living. You know what I mean? So, if you want to share your stories about how you found out about 9/11 or what you were doing, or if you're affected by anybody that you know you lost. Let us know.